I'm sorry. Relax. Okay, no problem.
Lady? What if I told you there are surely some shockingly terrifying horror movies out there you've probably never heard of? A lot of them are foreign films, low budget, poorly marketed, but once you watch them, they'll haunt you for days. In part 1 and part 2 of this series, I already shared more than 45 of these hidden gems you can watch after this video, and already linked down in the description. But today, it's time for part 3, with 16 more terrifying foreign horror movies you don't want to miss. I'm Dave, I love movies, especially horror movies, and this is Hitchcock's Picks. Let's dive right in.
왜 자꾸 애들 꿈에 나오시는 걸까요?
Kicking off our list at number 10 is Exhuma, a Korean supernatural thriller that'll mess with your head in the best way possible. The film follows renowned shaman Hoa Rim and her protege, who are hired by a wealthy Korean-American family to figure out why their newborn is suffering from a mysterious illness. They soon discover it's a grave's call, a vengeful ancestor's spirit haunting the family bloodline. To break the curse, they enlist a feng shui master and a mortician to relocate the ancestor's grave in a remote mountain near the North Korean border. But when they disturb the burial, they accidentally unleash something far more sinister and dangerous than they ever imagined. Why is Exhuma only at number 10? While it's definitely unsettling with some genuinely creepy moments, it relies more on atmospheric dread and psychological horror than outright terror. The scariness comes from the slow building tension and the disturbing historical context, rather than, jump scares or gore. This is perfect for horror fans who appreciate folklore, intricate mythology, and supernatural elements rooted in cultural history. If you enjoyed movies like The Wailing 2016 or, love Korean horror in general, this should be next on your watch list. Overall, I'm giving Exhuma a solid 7.5 out of 10 on the Hitchcock's Picks scale. It's a, well-crafted film with stunning visuals and a compelling story that, blends horror with historical commentary, even if it won't have you sleeping with the lights on. If you're loving these picks, hit like and subscribe. More killer recommendations are coming your way. And at number 9, we have The Queen of Black Magic, an Indonesian horror that delivers on both folklore and gore. This story follows a group of former orphans who reunite at their childhood home, only to discover that the place they once considered sanctuary is now haunted by a terrifying curse connected to their past. When they arrive, strange occurrences begin happening. They soon realize that the kind woman who raised them had been practicing dark magic to protect them. But now, that protection has turned into something deadly and vengeful. The Queen of Black Magic lands at number 9 because while it has some, genuinely terrifying moments and disturbing imagery, it balances horror with elements of drama and revenge. It, crosses that 70% threshold into terrifying territory with its creative kills and unsettling atmosphere, but it's not quite as, nightmare-inducing as what's coming later on our list. This is perfect for horror fans who appreciate practical effects, creative death scenes, and supernatural revenge stories. I'm giving The Queen of Black Magic a 7 out of 10 on the Hitchcock's Picks scale. It's a solid folk horror with some truly memorable scenes, even if, if it occasionally prioritizes shock over substance.
Kamu. Kesalahan yang harus aku hapus.
Coming in at number 8, Impetigore 2019. Another Indonesian masterpiece that blends folk horror with bloody horror in the most unsettling way. The film follows Maya, a woman working a dead-end job in the city who's attacked on her bus route by a strange man with a scythe. So, after she's attacked, she decides to return to her ancestral village with her best friend, Dini, hoping to claim an inherited property and escape her troubles. But, upon arrival, they discover the village harbors a dark secret about Maya's family and a terrifying curse that demands a horrific sacrifice. Impetigore earns its spot at number 8 with its masterful blend of, atmospheric dread and visceral body horror. The film builds tension slowly, but rewards viewers with some truly terrifying sequences and disturbing imagery that, will stick with you long after the movie ends. This is what I'm promised. This is ideal for horror fans who, appreciate slow burn tension that pays off folk horror with unique cultural elements. I'm giving Impetigore an 8 out of 10 on the HKX scale. It's a beautifully shot, well-acted horror film that delivers both, scares and substance in equal measure.
Tolong disisirin ya, Bu. Rambut Ibu kenapa?
At number 7, we have Satan's Slaves 2017, an Indonesian supernatural horror that revitalized the country's horror scene and even spawned a sequel. The story centers on a poor family whose mother has been ill for 3 years. When she finally dies, strange occurrences begin happening in their home, and they soon realize her death has unleashed something far more terrifying than they could have imagined. As the haunting intensifies, the family discovers dark secrets about their mother's past and a pact she made years ago that now threatens to consume them all. They must find a way to break the curse before it's too late. Satan's Slaves lands at number 7 because it delivers genuine terror through masterful atmosphere, unsettling imagery, and some of the most effective jump scares in recent horror. The film creates a sense of, kind of dread that permeates every scene. Making even quiet moments feel charged with menace. If you enjoyed classic Asian horror like The Eye or Shutter, this modern take will blow you away. I'm giving Satan's Slave an 8.5 out of 10 on the HKX score. It's a masterclass in supernatural horror that proves you don't need a big budget to create genuine terror. At number 6 is Ruh, a Malaysian folk horror that will get under your skin and stay there. The film follows a family living in a remote village who encounter a mysterious young girl lost in the woods. Despite warnings from local superstitions, they take her in, not realizing she's connected to a probably dark force that begins to plague their community. As the strange deaths and illnesses are spread through the village, the family must confront the supernatural entity they've unwittingly welcomed into their home. Ruh earns its spot at number 6 through its masterful blend of folk horror and psychological terror. I think, rather than relying on jump scares, it creates an atmosphere of, pervasive dread that builds slowly but relentlessly, making it deeply unsettling on a psychological level. This is ideal for horror fans who appreciate atmospheric storytelling. I'm giving Ruh an 8.5 out of 10 again on the HKX score. It's a beautifully shot, emotionally resonant horror film that proves the scariest monsters are often the ones within ourselves. Coming in at number 5 is Siccin, 1, the original, a Turkish horror that delves into the terrifying world of demonic possession and occult rituals. The film follows a young woman named Osner, if I pronounce it right, who becomes the target of a powerful curse after rejecting a marriage proposal. Desperate to win her love, the rejected suitor seeks help from a practitioner of dark magic who unleashes a demonic entity to torment her. As Osner's life descends into chaos and horror, she must uncover the source of the curse and find a way to break it before the demonic presence completely consumes her soul and body. Siccin lands at number 5 with its unflinching portrayals of demonic possession and occult horror and the fantastic makeup of demons. The film doesn't shy away from disturbing imagery or psychological torment, creating a kind of sense of dread that intensifies as the curse takes hold. If you enjoyed films like The Exorcist or Hereditary 2018 and want to see how different cultures approach demonic horror, Siccin will deliver the scares you're looking for. I'm giving Siccin an 8 out of 10 on the HXPix score. While it's undeniably terrifying, some pacing issues and occasionally uneven performances keep it from perfection, but it's still a must-watch for horror enthusiasts.
For Christ's sake.
Wait a minute, this is our job.
Come on, you heard it. What the fuck?
Number 4, Rec 2007. This Spanish found footage horror, I think many people has already watched it. It's a masterpiece. I mean, it redefined the genre and inspired countless imitators. The film follows Angela, a young television reporter who's documenting the night shift at a local fire station for her show while you're sleeping. What begins as a routine call to help an elderly woman trapped in her apartment building quickly descends into chaos when they discover something far more sinister is happening. As the building is quarantined by authorities, Angela and her cameraman Pablo find themselves trapped inside with residents who are rapidly transforming into something violent and inhuman. Rec earns its spot at number 4 through its masterful use of found footage technique to create visceral, immersive terror. I mean, I loved this movie. The film's confined setting, documentary-style camera work, and relentless pacing make you feel like you're trapped right alongside the characters. This is essential viewing for horror fans who appreciate found footage done right. If you haven't experienced Rec yet, you're missing one of the most influential horror films of the 21st century. I'm giving Rec a 9 out of 10 on the HXPix score. It's a nearly perfect horror film that delivers scares, tension, and innovation in equal measures. Now, about the top 3. At number 3 is Incantation 2022, a Taiwanese found footage horror that will mess with your mind in ways you won't see coming. The film follows Ronan, a woman who 6 years earlier participated in a religious ritual that violated a taboo, resulting in a curse that now threatens her daughter. As she documents their lives in an attempt to break the curse, she must navigate the terrifying supernatural forces that haunt them. What makes Incantation unique is its interactive approach. The film frequently breaks the fourth wall, directly addressing the viewer, us, and even asking them to participate in rituals. This immersive technique draws you into the story in a way that makes the horror feel personal and immediate. Incantation lands at number 3 with its innovative approach to found footage and its deeply unsettling exploration of guilt, faith, and maternal love. I mean, what makes it particularly scary is how it blurs the line between the film and reality, making you question what you're seeing and even your own role in the curse. If you're looking for a horror experience that's truly unique and deeply unsettling, Incantation will deliver in spades. I'm giving Incantation a 9 out of 10 again on the Hitchcock's Pixar score. It's bold, it's innovative, it's a film, kind of horror film that pushes the boundaries of the genre while delivering genuine scares. At number 2 is Satan's Slaves 2 Communion in 2022. The Indonesian sequel that makes its predecessor look like a bedtime story. Picking up years after the first film, it follows the now grown Suherman children as they are haunted by a demonic cult determined to complete a ritual that began with their mother's death. When they move to a rundown apartment building, they discover the cult has infiltrated their new home, and the walls themselves seem alive with evil. What makes this film terrifying is how it weaponizes claustrophobia. The apartment building, becomes a labyrinth of horrors, with demonic entities lurking in mirrors, walls, and even the shadows between floors. As the cult's leader, a blind, disfigured priestess, manipulates reality itself, the family must confront not just external demons, but the darkness inherited from their mother's past. Communion earns its spot here because, it's a masterclass in escalating dread. It takes the supernatural dread of the original and injects it with body horror, psychological torture, and imagery that will haunt you for weeks. This is for horror fans who crave folklore-driven terror and, suffocating atmosphere. I'm giving Satan's Slaves to the Communion a 9.5 out of 10 on the Hitchcock's Pixar score. It's a nearly perfect horror sequel that blends cultural specificity with universal fears, and it will absolutely wreck your sleep schedule. This is what I promise.
なんか見えんの?
いや見えるわけじゃなくて
And number 1, the best on our list, Noroi, The Curse, 2005. This Japanese mockumentary follows paranormal documentation Kobayashi as he investigates a series of strange occurrences that seem connected to an ancient curse known as Noroi. As he digs deeper, he uncovers a web of supernatural events involving psychic children, a mysterious woman, and a demonic entity that threatens to consume everyone involved. Presented as Kobayashi's final documentary, found after his disappearance, the film pieces together his investigation through interviews, news footage, and home video recordings. What begins as a series of seemingly unrelated supernatural events gradually reveals a terrifying pattern that leads to an ancient evil beyond comprehension. Noroi earns its spot as the most terrifying film on our list through its masterful use of the mockumentary format to create a sense of dread that builds slowly but relentlessly. What makes it particularly terrifying is how it blurs the line between fact and fiction, making the supernatural elements feel disturbingly real. The film's climax is one of the most genuinely terrifying sequences in horror history, delivering a payoff that makes all the slow building tension worth it. This is essential viewing for serious horror fans who appreciate atmospheric storytelling, psychological terror, and films that respect their audience's intelligence. I'm giving Noroi, The Curse, a perfect 10 out of 10. I mean, it scares, story, atmosphere, and innovation, everything. This is not just a great horror film. It's one of the scariest horror movies ever made, in my opinion. All right. Well, before we wrap up, here are 5 more foreign horror films that just missed the list, but are absolutely worth your time. Number 1, Alive, 2020. Alive traps a gamer in his high-rise apartment during a zombie outbreak, forcing him to use his wits to survive. The terror comes from its claustrophobic tension and the way it turns everyday objects into lifelines. This one's perfect for fans of confined space thrillers, like, for example, 28 Days Later or The Escape Room. Number 2. This Malaysian folk horror follows a woman returning to her village, where a cult's curse vacants after a forbidden burial. It's dread-soaked with folklore that feels ancient and inescapable. This one is perfect for viewers who loved The Wailing, 2016, or slow-burn rural terror. At number 3, we have Metamorphosis, 2019. A South Korean exorcism drama where a priest battles a demon that jumps between family members. What makes it unique is how it blends emotional family trauma with visceral body horror. This is perfect for fans of Hereditary-style family grief meets The Exorcist. Number 4, Noise, 2024. Sisters haunted by a mysterious noise in their new apartment. When one vanishes, their neighbor threatens murder, and then paranoia escalates. This one's perfect for fans of urban isolation horror like Dark Water 2002. The last but not least, number 5, Pulse 2001. This Japanese techno horror classic explores loneliness through ghosts who invade the living world via the internet. Its eerie visuals and themes of digital isolation feel prophetic today. This is perfect for fans of atmospheric dread like Ring. There it is, 10 more terrifying foreign horror films you've probably never heard of. From Korean folklore to Turkish demonic possession to Japanese mockumentary terror, these hidden gems prove that some of the best horror is happening far outside Hollywood. If you discovered a new favorite from this list, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out part 1 and part 2 of this series. Are they linked in the description below. Thanks for watching. And remember, I'm Dave, and this has been Hitchcock's Picks. See you in the next video.